The Silk Road, A Journey Through Time. Part 10. Final Threads and Eternal Connections. Languages spoken across the Silk Road left footprints in modern speech. Bazaar comes from Persian bazaar, spreading to become the marketplace term from Turkish to English. Caravan derives from Persian caravan. Orange traces through Sanskrit naranga to Persian naran to Arabic naranj to Spanish naranja. Even silk traveled linguistically, from Chinese side to Greek Syries to English through Old Norse. Every time we use these words, we speak echoes of ancient trade routes. Architectural innovation from Silk Road exchange transformed how humans built. The pointed arch, associated with Gothic cathedrals, originated in the Middle East and was perfected in Islamic architecture centuries before European adoption. This innovation traveled westward during Crusades and eastward along the Silk Road. The minaret shows influences from Chinese pagodas and Buddhist stupas, adapted to Islamic purposes. Byzantine dome construction influenced Islamic mosque design, which influenced Renaissance architecture. Buildings became texts documenting cultural exchange. Modern diplomacy owes much to Silk Road protocols. The Mongol peza, a metal tablet guaranteeing safe conduct, was an early diplomatic passport. Extraterritoriality developed from practical needs of foreign merchant communities. Italian city-states established permanent embassies in Constantinople, creating foundations of modern diplomatic representation. Treaties required translators and protocols, refined through centuries of cross-cultural negotiation. Modern nations follow patterns established in ancient caravanserais and palaces. Epidemic diseases along the Silk Road taught harsh lessons about interconnection. Leprosy spread from India both westward and eastward along trade routes. Social responses, isolation of sufferers, specialized hospitals, developed similarly across cultures. The word quarantine comes from Italian quarantigorni, 40 days. The period ships waited in Venice if coming from plague-infected regions. This practical epidemiology represented a contribution to public health. Timekeeping and calendars showed fascinating convergence. Islamic, Chinese, and Persian calendars circulated in Central Asian cities, and merchants converted between them for contracts. This drove astronomical observations to improve accuracy. The astrolabe, refined by Islamic astronomers, became essential for navigation and prayer times. Dividing the day into 24 hours gradually standardized across cultures. The exchange of astronomical knowledge refined both Chinese and European clock development. Preservation techniques for long-distance transport impacted food culture worldwide. Salt curing, smoking, drying, and pickling became culinary traditions. Hard cheeses developed along pastoral routes. Tea bricks became currency in some regions. Dried fruits became staples beyond their original purposes. These methods, born from necessity, enriched human cuisine. Aged cheeses, cured meats, and dried fruits descend from techniques developed for Silk Road caravans. Standardized coinage and currency exchange developed sophisticated forms. Money changers assessed coin purity, using touchstones and balances. Exchange rates fluctuated, creating an early foreign exchange market. Some merchants became proto-bankers, offering loans and credit. Chinese paper money during the Tang dynasty gradually proved its utility. By the Yuan dynasty, paper currency was mandatory for large transactions. Though China's experiments eventually failed due to overprinting, the concept had been proven viable. The most important fact about the Silk Road, it proved humans could connect, communicate, and cooperate despite vast differences. Merchants sought profit. Monks sought spiritual truth. Artisans wanted the perfect crafts. Yet through these individual pursuits, they wove together a world. They created networks persisting for 15 centuries, surviving wars, plagues, empires rise and fall, and climate changes. They left us a template. Not isolated groups suspicious of difference, but interconnected communities enriched by exchange. The Silk Road teaches that walls have always been temporary, isolationism an illusion, and that encountering the foreign ultimately strengthens culture. Every civilization touching the Silk Road was transformed, yet retained its essential character. Chinese culture remained distinctly Chinese while embracing Indian Buddhism and Persian wine. Islamic civilization maintained identity while absorbing Greek philosophy and Indian mathematics. Cultural identity thrives on exchange rather than isolation. In our modern world, connected by fiber optics, container ships, and satellites, we face similar questions. How do we balance openness with security? How do we benefit from exchange while managing risks? How do we maintain identities while embracing other cultures' gifts? The Silk Road offers perspective, the long view showing that connection has advanced human flourishing more than isolation ever could. The stars that guided ancient caravans still wheel overhead, marking the same paths they illuminated millennia ago. Trade routes may have faded, but their legacy flows through us. Every time we taste cinnamon, play a stringed instrument, use algebra, read printed words, appreciate silk paintings, or acknowledge that distant strangers have worthwhile ideas, we walk the Silk Road still, not as history or metaphor, but as living inheritance, as ongoing conversation between past and present, as a reminder that humanity's greatest achievements come from reaching across boundaries to embrace the strange and discover that in diversity lies unlimited possibility. Sleep well, traveler. The journey continues.